Hey. So, as we've been studying the upper room, and there's no doubt I've studied and taught the book of John more than any other book, hands down. I came into this brand new aha revelation I've never picked up on in this upper room discourse. And I'm going to call it the father thread. And it's where I started seeing, like we taught last time on in my father's house are many rooms, right? Many mansions, much space. And so I taught that, and then I started studying and digging into the next part, and I saw the father, the phrase the father started popping up. And it's like, hold on a minute. Like, I've never picked up on this thread that Jesus uses, again, his last conversation with the apostles to teach about the Father. And so I just want to title these comments today. We're laying a groundwork, and I love it. I want you to go and read these passages. We're laying a foundation that we're going to come back and talk about some of these Father insights Christ teaches. Call it the Father's thread. Call it Jesus's final lesson about the Father. Call it the Jesus wanted them to know about the Father. But obviously, from John 14, when he says, in my father's house, in the Father's house, he's very intentional about trying to teach them about the Father. And you'll see it. I'm going to enumerate each one of them, kind of 30,000 foot view today. But remember where we are. Like the room, the apostles, it's just before the cross. Um, this is all a sucker punch for them. They went to this room to celebrate Passover. Christ is pretty much introduced to them. It's over. Judas has left. Simon Peter said, I'll die with you if I have to. Jesus said, you're not ready. The cross is now going to happen in a moment. And Jesus takes this moment to say, but I want to talk to you about the Father. Not about the cross, not about heaven, not about prophecy, not about end times, the Father. And why? Like, why spend so let me say this right. Why spend so much time talking about the Father? Like, what's the point? This is where I dug into, like, why? Like, what's going on here? Why not our Father? Why not your Father? Why not my Father? The Father is the phrase he uses over and over. And see, the disciples think, like, we'll go die if we have to tonight. Like, it's over. It's been an amazing run. We still believe in you, Jesus. And Jesus, instead of like giving into their emotions and their mindset, he knows there's a bigger play. And he's trying to introduce them to the Father. And there's reasons he doesn't say our Father, my Father. Like if in today's terms, if someone says, like he's and they give a title, he's so and so, that's my. But when they go, he's the Father, like that's that's like the pinnacle of all of them. Like I almost think like Godfather, no pun intended, like he's Godfather, like he's the one. There's not three, there's not nine. I want you to know the Father. And then, of course, he will teach them about our Father, like our Father who is in heaven, right? And so you have to see this. So here's the thread. He says, first off, in my Father's house are many rooms, many mansions. And so he introduces this belonging, like you're not falling out of relationship with him, you're not being displaced. There's a place for you. Like there's a seat at the table for you. In my Father's house, there's space for you. And then he goes from there and he says, nobody comes to the Father except through me. And so here he introduces like the Father. Who is he? Like he's got a space for you. Man, I want to get there. And he goes, you can have it. However, you only get there through me. The access to the Father is through Jesus. And so as much as they're in this anxious driven moment, like the world is upside down, he's like, hold on, time out. Like the Father has a place for you, but you get to him through me, the Father. And then he goes on. He says, whoever's seen me has seen the Father. And so now he introduces, like, there's a revelation. There's an ability to see and know him. There's an ability to appreciate the Father. And he says, but if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. I've been showing you for 3.5 years the Father. Like, you already know his DNA, you know his personality. And then he goes, and aside from this, in verse 16, he says, I'm going to ask the Father to send the Spirit to you. And now he's saying, not only like is the Father, like the Father is this thing, this deity, this being, the pinnacle. He says, but the Father cares about you. And I'm going to talk to him and ensure that he sends the Spirit to you. And so now Christ introduces, like, think about this, like Christ has been physically wherever he was is where he was. I can't find the word I'm looking for. So he was not omnipresent in the moment. He's isolated. If he's in the room, he's in the room. If he's outside, he's outside. And then Jesus just says, but hold on, time out. Like, I'm going to talk to the Father, and he's going to send the Spirit. And we know Spirit is omnipresent, omnipotent. Like this is not a diminishment that's happening here, guys. This is an expounding. This is exponential, that what's going to happen here. And then he goes on in chapter 15, and he says, my Father's glorified. And he shows purpose. And like now life is going to have a direction. Like if you want to know how to please the Father, like the Father has shown us how to do that right now. And there's no more kicking out to, I don't know what to do and all of this. He's like, I got you. Like the Father wants to be pleased and wants to have a significant relationship with you, but he's also going to give you the Spirit. He's also showing you the way. Like this is not floundering here. This is like, I'm anchoring you in something. And then in verse 9 of 15, he goes, and as the Father has loved me. Now the Father is not like this supreme deity out there that's keeping score. He's like, Father loves us, man. And as much as the Father has loved me, the Father loves you. In verse 27, the Father loves you. And so again, now he's bringing in this relationship of care and agape love, not tolerance, not Old Testament appeasement, but it's a relationship. It's God the Father. He loves you. And then in 17, we hear Jesus pray, and he says, Father, Father, Father. And again and again and again, Jesus is trying to model them, like in the Father's house are many rooms, and the Father loves you, and the Father's not going to leave you abandoned. The Father, like, he loves you, and he's going to ensure that you're never found alone. And so he's introducing this relationship to them that they didn't have, like they couldn't have. Like the God they know in the Old Testament is one that you offer sacrifice and you appease, and there's retribution and all. And Jesus is like, before I go, I want to tell you the most pointed way I can tell you about the Father. And he walks them through this thing and says, and the Father loves you. And then not that he said this, but then he goes, let us pray. Father, hey, Father. And he's modeling to them the Lord's Prayer, right? When you pray, say this, our Father who's in heaven. And right in real time, at the most anxious moment of his earthly walk, he's saying, I got to tell you something. And there's a progression here. Like the belonging. In the Father's house are many rooms. There's space for you. How do we get there? I'm the way. Like, you get to the Father through Jesus. How do we know? Like, how do we know him? If you've seen him, Jesus, he says, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. And then presence, like the Father's going to send the Spirit. Like, I'm not leaving you. Like, now, instead of you having to be in the room with me, I'll be with you everywhere. And purpose, like that the Father would be glorified, and that the Father loves you and invites you into a relationship. And it's like Jesus is walking them deeper into the Father's heart than any of the 3.5 years prior. And he's trying to anchor them, like, what do you say? It's expedient. It's good that I go away. But here he's literally landing on, like, the Father, the Father. And so Jesus doesn't merely say, your Father. He says, the Father. Just like he says, the way, the truth, the life, the shepherd. Throughout the upper room, Jesus often speaks of the Father the way he speaks of the way, truth, life, and other things. The shepherd, not merely as a relationship, but as a revelation of identity for them. And he's not merely saying or simply saying God is fatherly. He's saying God is your Father. The Father is your Father. This is who the Father is. How do we know him? You knew me, you know the Father. How do we get there? Follow me. Like, I got you. We don't want you to leave. The Father's not going to leave you alone. The Father loves you. Father wants to have a relationship with you. You see, they already believed in God, but Jesus is trying to show them that this relationship with the Father after he is gone is what it's all about. The disciples thought they were about to lose everything, but Jesus spends his last final hours teaching them that everything was always about leading to the Father. And so the deeper you go into the upper room in this thread, and I want you to read it, 14 and 15, and even parts of 16, just read it out and just pay attention to where Father pops up. And it's Jesus just trying to say, for 3.5 years, I've been trying to show you that this is not just about me, it's about the Father. And remember, he said he wanted to please the Father. And the Father, when he was baptized, said, this is my Son, in whom I'm pleased, and I always have been pleased. And Jesus is just trying to anchor them right now, like, don't lose sight of the big picture here. It's an amazing thread I've never seen. And I just love, like, what Christ is trying to do and what he wants to do for us to help us recognize the Father wants to be in a relationship with us because of Jesus Christ making a way.